all parents do the best that they can with the resources that they have, emotional, physical, and mental. These were the best that my parents could do, And then they gave me all the opportunities. I went to college, I aced high school, I did a great job in university, made a wonderful friend.
Hello and welcome to the Come Alive podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me on my podcast. She talks about something which is very dear to my heart. She is a mother of a son, former editor-in-chief of Hello magazine, MASALA magazine, and Cosmopolitan Middle East magazine. She is a conscious parenting coach. She works with adults and children to help heal, prevent childhood trauma. She studied under Dr. Shefali Tsabary to become a certified parenting coach and is now pursuing her MA and PhD in holistic psychology, specializing in adverse childhood experiences, child therapy and trauma at the California Institute of Integral Studies to gain tools to heal our minds, bodies, and souls. Through her weekly columns in Khaleej Times, she tackles parenting and its challenges so we can raise whole and happy children. Let's welcome Kavita Srinivasan, a conscious parenting coach. She lives by the quote, "You are the beginning, there is no end." So welcome Kavita, welcome on my show.
Thank you, Meher. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and giving me this time.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and about the beginning.
Well, what can I say? When I had my son, I thought I had it all together. I thought that my life was wonderful and perfect and I was strong and I had aced all the problems in my life. Well, I grew up with a mentally unwell mother. She's still not okay. And my father did not know what to do with her and with us. And, I'm South Indian and Tamilian. We're very cerebral. The world of emotions and mental ill health does not even figure in the spectrum, And so we didn't know what to do with her. They were lost and they sent my sister and me. I was 6.5. My sister was 4. We were sent to boarding school. And, there have been struggles and I thought I had surmounted them all because I ended up going to grade. My parents did the best that they could with the resources that they had. And all parents do. I want to preface this entire conversation with that all parents do the best that they can with the resources that they have, emotional, physical, and mental. These were the best that my parents could do, And then they gave me all the opportunities. I went to college, I aced high school, I did a great job in university, made wonderful friends, had a great career. I thought I was fine, I thought I was okay. But then I had my son and literally in 1 second, I went from 100 to 0. I crashed and burned. I have never felt the way I did the moment he was born. I did not want to be a mother and I did not want to be his, and I was bereft. I didn't know what to do. My body was in a 24/7 state of a panic attack, and I put on a great front for the world, but I just did not know what to do. I was completely lost and it was a very dark time for me. And I continued to fall apart. And I had this career, and I showed up to work.
So you were still
yes,
in the media.
I was, yeah. I showed up to work, and I had a very dark life within, and I was breaking. I was completely breaking. Every day I was breaking, and finally, when he was 3, I resigned, and I was lost for a long time, like for a few months. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, let me start this business. Let me start that business. Because I've worked all my life, and our coping mechanism becomes work, and our coping mechanism becomes our identity. And that's how we run away from our pain. And I just did not know what to do. And a few months prior to me leaving Cosmo, I met Dr. Shefali Tsabary, who's Oprah's go-to for parenting. And I interviewed her actually for Cosmo. And she said something which I may have heard before, but everything happens at the right time. I was almost 40. And that age is the biggest portal to life. When you reach, and this is for everybody to know, when you turn 36, the ages from 36 to 40, there is a gradual descent. And then when you reach 40, there is a wide opening. And you walk through that opening. And I met her literally a month after I turned 40. And she told me, you can't get what you didn't get. And suddenly that resonated so deeply. When I resigned, COVID happened. I just studied under her, just for myself, and then I decided to get, and as I went through my healing journey and reliving every trauma that I went through during my childhood, which I had never really paid attention to, it just started coming up, and I gave it the space and the time and the presence to heal it and tolerate that agony. And then I decided that I wanted to know more, and I got certified under her. I started working with parents of children because I know the agony, I know the pain, I know what it's like, and I know why I have lived the life I have. We're all of service to the world. So the pain that flows through us is actually a way to help the world. And then I wanted to know more. And so but I believe in holistic healing, mind, body, and soul. The Western talk therapy, CBT, everything that I had done for the first few years of my son's birth helped me at nothing. There was no help. There was no movement. And Dr. Shefali said there's only one university in the world that does this, mind, body, soul. And she went there, the California Institute of Integral Studies. So I applied, I got in. I'm in the second year of my master's, and yeah, the journey continues. And I'm so grateful.
This is so amazing and so inspiring. And you rightly said that I think when you go through your dark times,
yes,
there is more for us to serve.
Yes.
It was so beautiful the way you described it, and I wouldn't agree more. And I have gone through my journey.
Yes.
And for the longest time, I was in pain, not knowing why I was in pain. It's only when I think you get out of the journey, or there is a tipping point, like for you, it was your son.
Yes.
It was the tipping point of realization for you. So that is really, really important.
Yeah.
And but what made you push? I mean, of course, you were a parent, and like you said, you were in denial. You didn't want to be a parent.
Yes.
So would you have an instance, just so people can understand and know from experience share, that what was that very moment or that tipping point when you said that I am going to build myself up?
That's such a good question.
And I'm going to do this for myself,
yes.
for my child, for my family.
Yes.
So what happened? Like, what was that shift in perception? And it's, how they say, it's that the thought of that 1 second where you motivate yourself to just shift and change your life.
That is such a good question, because most of the people I work with, they say, but I don't want to. I just don't want to. And everybody needs an inspiration. Everybody needs that. For me, I know what it's like not to have a mother. I know what it's like.
So you had a mother and you didn't have it, right?
I know what it's like. I know the pain I've been through. I've leaned on friends more than I should. I've had toxic, enmeshed relationships. I have gone from one home to the other looking for belonging. I've done all of it, and I know what it feels like. So I wanted to be a mother. And I've always loved children. I love them. They are I'm the person who goes to random people's homes and changes diapers. And, I love kids. There's something about a child that makes my heart just melt. So with my own child, he is my courage. He is my inspiration. Every single day when I face that pain, and this is something that I just want to say out loud, not many people do, but when you go through this healing journey, there are many points in life when you'll want to just die. Because
Absolutely.
the pain is unbearable. You want to die. You want
yes.
to just give up. You want to succumb. But when you come to that point of wanting to die, that is when you are on the precipice of truly living. Because life is about death, right?
Yes.
But who do you hold on to? What is it that you hold on to pull you out of that tunnel? To give you the courage to go through that birth canal and know that there is something on the other side. For me, it's my child. It has always been him. I think if I had gone through this before I had a child, I may not have survived it. I would have died because the pain can be unbearable, you know? So who do you hold on to? Everyone has someone.
Yeah.
Everyone has something. That's why I think parenting is so powerful.
Yes.
And it's such a great trigger or an instigator of this journey, because we don't love ourselves the way we love our children. That instinct doesn't come to be there for our children. That will be there for ourselves like the way we want to be there for our children. Also, nothing cracks you open like becoming a parent, because you can blame your husband, you can blame your job, you can blame the world. You can't blame that innocent child, you know, and that child is completely dependent on you. So you have to rise to the occasion. So that's why I think parenting is the most powerful tool and trigger.
And in transformation.
And a lot of people, like I do work with people who don't have children yet. So ideally, it would be wonderful if we could do this inner work before we had children.
Yeah.
So actually, one of the things I am working on right now is an emotional training program for before you have children, because it is so important to at least know what lies on the other side. You know, Meher.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing prepares you. No one tells you anything.
No one tells you anything.
They're like, oh,
yes.
It's so hard. It's so... No, but no one actually gives you tools. So ideally, it would be great if we could all do this inner work before we have children, because parenting is not about the child in front of you. It's about the child within you.
Yeah.
But for me, it was my son. It was my son. And it is every single day is my son as I face this pain every day. It never goes away. You just get more adept at dealing with it, going back and knowing that you will re-emerge, you will rebirth, you will get stronger.
Absolutely. And so many wonderful things you said in there, and so much I resonate with. So I was living in my life again in a tunnel.
Yes.
I didn't know when I would see light. But after the kids were born, like after my twins were born, I actually thought that, is this the person I want to remain?
Yes.
Is this the person I want to remain, or I want to get out of my subconscious programming? Yeah. Like they say. And like you said, you have to heal the child within.
Yes.
And have we done that work? And of course, in all honesty, everything is awesome in terms of our parents, because they did the best they could for us.
Of course.
With the knowledge, with the capacity, with the resources they had.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But there's always some kind of trauma everybody lives with, because of maybe the societal subconscious programming, or I believe it's also sometimes in our religion, like in Hinduism, they say the souls also come to life with some kind of programming and some kind of karma, or whatever you call it in your language. But and I had the same. And my kids were definitely the catalyst to help me become the better version of myself. And then there was no looking back. And again, another thing you pointed was the age of 36 to 40. And that's exactly where my transformation happened.
There you go.
That's amazing validation.
Yes.
That it was just so transformational for me to be a better version of myself. So I could lead by example, not just talk. And even today, like I prefer words, actions are louder than words.
Yeah.
So I prefer to model who I want them to become rather than asking them to become someone.
Yes, but that is the way. That is the way, right?
That helps us keep building ourselves. Yes. Keep getting inspired, keep working on ourselves, so we can model to them that who they can be.
Yes.
A whole and complete. And who they already
are. Children come into this world
whole and complete.
So your job as a parent is just to let them be whole. And while you do your inner work, oh my God, it is like a mountain. It is a mountain. Every day is a mountain.
Yes.
But while you do that, your children feel that energy, because children are feeling beings. They're only right brain, till they're 7 years old. And they really are only right brain. And then for the left brain and the frontal lobe to develop into adult logical capacity, it only finishes at 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So till 25, we are really more feeling beings than we are thinking beings. So we have to be more in the feeling world and the energy world. Even to this day, Meher, when you sit in a room, why do you get along with someone? Why do you feel good around someone and you don't feel so good around? We are energy based beings. That is our beginning. So how would our children be any different? So you have to do the hard work, as you're saying. Every single day, you have to model the person inside out, and you don't have to say anything to them. They pick up on that energy and they will grow. So I have parents coming to me with, give me a script for a tantrum, give me a script for this. I'm like, I can give you all the scripts because it's lovely to have the tools for the right words, because we get lost in the moment. But the most important work you will do is to work on your energy, because you can have the script, but you have the energy behind it. There will be no shift. There will be no change. So yeah, you have to model that.
So obviously this is like your transformative journey, and you've embarked on this so you could give back as well, or impact people, because whenever we shift, we are here to impact people also it's like a byproduct of your own journey and your own transformation. But how do you feel leaving I'm just coming back to your past life. I like to call it the past life.
It is the past life. It is the past life. And this is the true life. Post 40, I think, is when you become who you really are in your essence.
Meant to be, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Before that, everything is a coping mechanism. I'm telling you. Yeah.
It's like what I say in my book. It's like you live on painkillers. You want the best car, you want the best house, you want the best jewelry, you want the best bags.
Yeah.
So they're painkillers. Like you said, coping mechanisms for us to not address something which is hurting us inside. And
you're just surviving.
We're just surviving.
Yeah.
And that's why the name of my book, Come Alive. Don't just exist.
Exactly.
So we're just existing.
Yes.
Until we find our true purpose and passion and our true mission and our true being, like until we come back to our childlike being whole and complete, we're just existing.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. But how do you feel like, when you were moving away from the glitz and glamour? And of course, we know each other since the fashion days, and you were surrounded by celebrities, the best designers, fashion, like the best of the best. I mean, I can't even express. So how did you feel giving up all of that to pursue yourself and your mission and your happiness and your child? What was that contrast? Because it's very important to know how we were and how we are now, and that measure of happiness. Because people strive, even we were talking about in school, people strive, people teach to be that.
Yes.
To be that glamour and glitz.
Yes.
They don't teach us to be whole and complete.
Yes.
Nobody talks about it in school, that all your job is to be whole and complete and everything else will fall in place.
Yes.
Nobody talks about that in school. So how did you feel leaving all of that and still not being aware of this part?
Meher, I think that I used to treat my job, I mean, I know you know me. Did I ever show up to a million events? No. Was I ever socializing with everybody? No. I am a simple South Indian girl, and really, because of the way I've been raised, I've just never really prized glamour and glitz. I just never have. I never socialized. I went to work, I went back home, and I would go only to my events that I had to go to. I wasn't ever a part of the glamour and glitz. That's just not who I am. Like, my husband would make fun of me. Like, I would come back from, it was like an accounting job. I'm being really honest. Like, I love to write and I love telling stories. And, this is not to like show off or this is not coming from ego. It's just a fact. I can do many things well. But, so I did it well. I did my job well. But was that really who I am? No. I'm a writer. I love to write. But the world of glamour and glitz never really figured in my everyday life. Those are not the people I socialized with. Those are not the events I went to. I mean, you remember, did you ever see me at random parties? Never. That was just not my life, So moving away from that was actually really natural for me. That was the glamour and the glitz is what I did not like about the job. I liked telling stories. I liked writing. I liked inspiring people. But I didn't like the glamour and the glitz. I didn't like getting dressed up and going out. I did not like all of that. That was just not who I was,
So you were showing up for where you needed to show up for your magazine.
I just did my job. I did my job, and I happened to do it well. It was always just a job. And I happened to do it well. And I enjoyed meeting people, talking to people, writing about them, telling stories. And then I stopped because I just did not enjoy it anymore because it wasn't me. You can only do something for so long. And I never lived the life of glamour and glitz. I just never did.
So you always detached from that world anyways.
I
from
was
the
not
within.
even a part of that world. I'm being
Okay.
really, it looked like I was because I was the editor-in-chief, but I really was not a part of that world. And anybody who's watching this can really say that I literally had my 6 friends and that's it. I didn't go to those parties. I did not do anything. You know, I'm always a girl on the couch, sitting with you under a blanket, talking to you with a cup of tea. That's just basically who I am. And I've always
Wow.
been that. So it did not feel, it actually felt like relief for me. It felt like, do I miss it? No, not at all. Am I grateful for it? Oh my God, yes, deeply grateful.
That's amazing.
Deeply grateful because it makes you who you are. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
And I loved doing it. I was grateful to do it when I did it. And I gave it my all. But then when it went away, I was just relieved. And it went away at a place that I really needed it to go away. I just didn't feel like, that's the magic of Ved. I mean, it's so funny that his name is Ved because what does Ved mean? The bearer of sacred knowledge.
Yeah.
And I did not know what he would do for me when he came into this world. But when he came, he taught me what mattered, you know. And because of him, I just could not live this not fake, but like this life that was not me anymore. It just fell away, and I finally felt like I could just breathe, painful as it was, you know.
That's amazing. And like you said, you felt relieved. So when I was actually moving away from my fashion brand,
yes,
I had a mentor, and she was guiding me towards things, and it was very difficult because though I didn't know I was not meant for fashion as well, similar to your journey, I still thought it was everything I had, right? Because that's what I did since I graduated. The day I graduated, I launched. I mean, the year I graduated, I launched my career in fashion. So all I knew for 15 years was to do is fashion, like design clothes, produce clothes, meet with people, sell clothes. That's all that I knew. And I was scared. I was fearful. I didn't know what would await me. I didn't know this new world of real estate. I didn't know how it would be to work in a family business. There were lots of doubts in the mind. So my mentor actually told me, sleep over it. And if you think by holding off this fashion brand and not doing it anymore, you will feel relieved and it will feel like a burden has been lifted off your shoulder, please make the decision to stop it. And that one question from my mentor actually made me happily say no to it. And then when I wrote my book is when I actually introspect and reflected and understood that I never wanted to be that. So that realization is so powerful and amazing that you were never that.
You feel free.
Yeah, you feel free. You feel free. And it's a beautiful journey of transition and into your new life or into your next phase of your life. So everything is a learning. Like we said, there are no failures. Everything is a learning.
Nothing.
So how important do you think self-love is in conscious parenting, and what is your definition of self-love?
You know, I think that self-love is, I remember I wrote something a year and a half or some time ago in the Khaleej Times about how selflessness is the opposite of true love. You know, we think that by being selfless, that is love. But that is the opposite of true love, because what is selfless? You give yourself away. That is the opposite of self-love. But we've been taught by society that when we are selfless, when we are giving, that is the essence of true love. It's not. The essence of true love is to be a little bit more selfish. And that sounds awful. But even to this day, I will tell you that, you know, when you say a few minutes ago, you said you live the life to serve others. And I will be honest, my only focus in life is myself. I only want to be there for myself. And when that is my focus, somehow, magically, I give to others.
Yes.
Magically, I have something to give to others. But my focus is never to give back.
Yes.
My focus is to give myself.
Very well
because
said.
I am the source. I am the beginning. You know, like it's
just absolutely very well said. I love it.
That focus on selfishness of being more about the self is not negative. Like, I look at the dictionary, in that article I wrote, I remember clearly, selfish was described in the dictionary as such a negative thing. Let's do away with that. Self-love is to be a little bit more selfish. It is.
Yes.
Now, of course, I'm not saying be a narcissist,
yes,
but be a little bit more about yourself. Put yourself at the center of your world, only because that is the beginning of everything. The moment I don't put myself, I cannot help my child. I cannot help my clients. I don't want to help people. I just
Yes.
don't want to be around anyone.
yes.
You know, last year, by the end of last year, I had something called compassion fatigue. And I spoke to my therapist about it, and she was like, welcome to your first therapist burnout. She was like, when you don't do the inner work every day and you make everyone else the focus of your life, and you
the
know
priority,
what? This is who I am, right? I'm that. So like when I give and give and give, and suddenly I was like, oh, I don't want to give anymore. Oh my God, I have a session right now. I'm so tired. When you start feeling that, you know that you've ignored yourself. You
Yes.
know that you've ignored yourself. So when you want to give, like, yes, I want to be this for my child. He's really my biggest inspiration. But for that, I need to come back to myself. So I've learned through trial and error, you know, helping children, helping parents, helping my child, that I am nothing if I'm not selfish. So self-love is to really put yourself at the center of your world, and that is so hard for us women.
Yes,
It
and our
is
subconscious
so
programming,
hard.
our subconscious
Yes.
programming has not taught us to take care of
Oh my
ourselves,
God, it is
to
a
prioritize
nightmare
ourselves.
to do
Yes.
this every day. I'm telling you, morning, I'll give you today as a small example. My husband is not feeling well. My son is at home from school. He's not well. There is a flu epidemic.
Yes.
I love working out. Okay, I need it. I can't. I wanted to desperately do it this morning, and I could not. And I'm feeling a bit of a hole in my body because that time of working out feels great. But then I had to stop that and not be about that, but I can feel the after effects now. I know that if I don't do something today, my energy will go down. I will not be able to be there for them.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So, but then in the beginning, it is hard. I struggled. Should I work out or should I wake up and cuddle my child and like not go to the, so I can be with him, read him a book, then make sure that my husband is okay, and then and then get ready and come and meet you.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
So it's a day-to-day sacrifice, like,
yes,
because the woman is the center of the house.
Yes.
The woman is the center of the house. If we don't function, nothing functions. So it is a struggle to be selfish, but try the best. Try it to the best of your ability, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I say this to all my clients also, my coaching clients
Yeah.
also. I tell them that, you know, you have to have a daily habit, a daily practice of prioritizing yourself, working on yourself in terms of meditation, gratitude, journaling, whatever works for you, exercise, spending that moments of love in silence with yourself, with nobody else. And if you don't do that daily, like you rightly said, you will feel low in energy, whatever, fatigue, whatever. But you have to understand that even if your motive is to serve your family, you have to first take care of yourself.
Yes, but our motivation is always that. My motivation, like listen, this is just fact. Men are built a certain way and women are built a certain way. Our goal is to be androgynous beings, where men have equal feminine, masculine sides and women have equal feminine, masculine sides. But we are built a certain way. So let's just acknowledge that it's easier for men to draw boundaries, which I really want to learn that art and develop my masculine. We all have to develop our masculine side. You know, we've been taught to be too much in our feminine.
Yes.
I mean, haven't you seen how when women are more aggressive or women are more, you know, focused, or, oh God, she's such a, she's so, like, really, you know, she's so bossy and she's so domineering. But then how do you bring that to center? Because the problem is women think they have to be men to assert themselves. But how do you
balance those energies?
How are you a woman with beautiful energetic boundaries? How do you do that? That is a struggle of an everyday life. And it starts with small things. Like today I promised myself, I will take you for a speed walk or a Pilates. I will do something for you, Kavita. I will do it for you.
Beautiful.
I love you too much. The other day, I was feeling a bit low and there was an almond croissant there and I really wanted to eat it. I'm all for eating what you want. But I was like, if I eat that almond croissant right now, it is to repress my feelings. And instead of saying, I should not do that, I turned around and I said, I won't do that to you, Kavita. I won't do that to you.
That's amazing.
I won't
So
do that
is
to
that
you.
called positive self-talk, or what is it? Like,
I don't
be
know.
your
It's kind of,
best
it's love.
companion?
It's love. I won't do that to you. I won't
I
shove
love
your
the
feelings in
dialogue.
a corner
Yeah,
with a croissant. I will sit with your feelings. I will listen
I
to
love
you.
it.
You know, because
Such a beautiful
if I was
way.
in a great state of mind with a bunch of friends and we were having a great tea and there was a big piece of cake, I will eat that cake. But I'm in a great frame of mind.
So you're not doing it for
To
killing the
repress.
pain. Yeah.
Exactly. But I don't say I should not, I won't know. I won't do that to you. I will not treat you like that. You deserve
Beautiful.
better. You deserve me to feel that pain and just to sit there. And I'm not going to like silence you with that croissant.
And we do that with the children also, right? They throw a tantrum. Okay, take the lollipop. Just be quiet right now.
Exactly.
Oh my God, what
Tolerate
a beautiful
the
metaphor.
feelings.
Yeah, tolerate the feelings,
tolerate the
work them out,
feelings, yeah.
speak to them. You know, I mean,
Yeah. This morning, my son,
re-energize yourself.
I don't want to steam. My nose is clear. I'm like, don't do that to your body. Be nice to your body. Your nose needs your help. Your nose is suffering. Can we just help your nose a little bit? Just for 3 minutes. And he
Wow.
sees me be kind to myself.
And that's how he
Yes.
will learn to be kind to himself.
Yes. Don't do that. Like when he's brushing his teeth, and of course, it's very complicated. There's so many ways of making children. How do you get children to do something and to listen? It's a many-layered thing. But I've gotten quite a long way with my son. But when he still resists, now he understands even, his teeth. Like he has 1 or 2 cavities now, which I'm like, and when he doesn't brush, I'm like, please help your teeth. They have cavities. Please help them. And he understands that. Like
Beautiful way of saying
be kind
it.
to yourself. Be good to your body. This is your home. And do that every day. And he says, Mama, why aren't you eating this cake? I said, I love my body and I know that I need to have cake only like once or twice a week. Because too much cake will like not be good to my body. My body needs the help.
Beautiful. I
You
so
know?
love it, and so powerful. The way you have
Yeah.
spoken about yourself and to your body, and then you model it for your child.
From a place of love, not
From a place
of shame.
yes.
Not from a place
Not
of
shame or guilt. Yes. It's
And-
from a place of love, the
yeah,
way you said it. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
And it's not because I want to lose weight or I want to look a certain way or I want to be. Honestly, that is all like, as you said, an after effect. Like when you
Yeah.
make yourself the center of your world, then you overflow to give others. So it's not to lose weight or to look good. It's because I just want to take care of myself. I want to be good to myself.
Yeah.
I will not do that to you. That's such a powerful statement. I will not do that to you. I don't want to work out. I will not do that to you.
It's
I
beautiful.
will take you there. So that is self-love. That is self-love.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So I think we also did realize in this conversation that being a conscious person
Yes.
impacts being a conscious parent.
That's all it is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you are your first child.
Yes.
But you don't even realize you're a parent before you have a child. You are your first child. That's why I have a lot of respect for people who don't have children and who are still doing the work, because they've realized the truth that we are our first children. We are our first children. And they're doing that work every day,
So what is something you could explain and say to parents hearing this podcast? Like, what would your biggest takeaway in your journey be? Like, how would you see them evolve as parents? Like you rightly said, that if you don't have parents, it's difficult to tap into your inner child and address the needs of that inner child and probably start loving yourself for who you are.
Yes.
So what would you say to them? I mean, with your experience, like how could they start learning and understanding and addressing themselves to be able to serve probably their child or however they want to take this?
I think it's the hardest thing is to admit that it's all you. I think I would tell parents that the place to start.
Be honest with yourself.
It's just all us. It's just all us. Our children are acting out. It's because there's something happening within us. Our children are bullying someone. It's because there's something happening with us. Are we bullying them? Are we bullying ourselves? What kind of relationship do we have at home with our husbands or our partners? What kind of friendships do we have? It's all us. It's all us. So the first step to begin is to stop thinking that you need to fix your child. or that you need to fix yourself. We just need love and care. So you see your child acting out or not listening to you or being difficult in some way, there's something happening with you. It's all you. 100% is you. 100% is you. That is the beginning of everything. And in fact, even in life, like, my son the other day, a child has been tormenting him in school. Okay. Of course, I had a conversation with the teacher, got more information, but like, I think the most important thing for him, is I've taught him how to just realize that what that child is going through is because he has issues, and the way Ved receives it is Ved's issues. So if you're feeling upset and tired and like you're not able to stand up to him, how can I help you? And then I realized that the reason he can't do that is because I'm a passive person. I allow people to walk all over me. So the work starts with me. I have to do that. Then Ved gets the courage to do this. And simultaneously, I work on those tools. Do you understand? Similarly, the child who is bullying, I don't believe in these words, but I'm just saying, just for the sake of language, needs help. Maybe he feels a lack of control in his life. Maybe he's anxious. Maybe his parents speak to him in a certain way and he knows that's the only way. Maybe that's the environment at home. He's not a bad kid. I've told Ved this, no one is a bad child. No one is.
I agree.
The reason somebody treats you is because of their own stuff. So don't take it personally. Diffuse the situation. Walk away. Like, I think one of the best things I told him was like, this child came and like hit him on the bum or something like that and said, oh, you're angry. So in the past, we would get upset and say, I said, why don't you turn around and say, you're angry. That's an awesome song. Sing it again. Love
it.
And the child was like, and Ved was like, I'm going to dance now. And he just walked away. Completely diffused the situation because he realized energetically that it is not about him. It's when we feel shame, there's something wrong with us, that they're behaving like us, that he just walked away. He walked away, and that is all you want for your child. So what I'm trying to say is that that is the first step. There is no bad child. There is no good child. There is nothing. What are we doing? Who are we? It's 100% us. So not 10%, not 50, 100%. So the moment you're able to realize that, you're already there.
Because you've accepted it, you've acknowledged it, you've understood it. So that first step towards making that action or making that journey has begun.
Yes. And I'm doing the hard work every day, right? I see him like a little bit more passive. I know I have to work on myself. God, that's like climbing a mountain. But when I do it, he feels bad. And and this is the other big thing that I want to just say. It is okay to have boundaries with your children. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, it's just so important to do that so that he realizes what mothers don't realize that they do is, I'm going to do everything for my child. I'm going to give up my time. I'm going to give up my life. I'm exhausted. But he wants me, so I'm going to be there for him. Yeah. That is teaching him that no matter how you feel, because he senses your exhaustion, put your feelings aside and do something for someone else.
Correct. Yes.
So
he's learning that.
Yes. So what I do regularly, and believe me, this takes a lot of effort, is, you're not feeling good, darling. I know. I'm here for you. I love you. I have my workout. I'm just using my workout. Or my studies. Okay, I'm doing my master's. I study a lot. I'm up all night because it's live virtual classes.
Wow.
And I'm up all night. So I want you to put me to sleep tonight. I don't want to. I'm like, I know you want me to put you to sleep tonight. I love you. I have my class tonight. Tomorrow, I will put you to sleep. What song do you want to hear? What book do you want to read? Mama has her class. You love your books more than me. I love you and I love my books. I love you and I love my books. I love you and I love my work. Teaching them these things that, yes, you're present with them, but you're also very present with your own life, with your own self, and that sort of work where, yes, you spend time with your children, but not at the cost of spending time with yourself.
I love it.
And it is the most important thing in the world. And motherhood should never be selfless. It is selfless because giving to him is giving to me. So it's a beautiful balance of selfless and selfish.
Yes. Very well said.
You know?
I agree.
So it is okay to have boundaries with your children because you're teaching them to have boundaries with the world. I see him the other day. No, I don't want to come on this play date. I want to just spend time on my own. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's more than beautiful.
It's beautiful. You know, you want to be with yourself. You know what you want in your life. But for that, you have to be comfortable. And let's turn a different. I love learning from my husband. He's great in so many ways. Men are wonderful examples for us to learn from. They know what they want.
Yeah.
And we end up resenting them because we never honor our feelings.
Very true.
You know, so I like that my husband has his, you know, his activities and he honors that. And I will support him in that wholeheartedly. So when I have something, he will support me. Do you understand? But what we end up doing is, oh, again, he's going to meet his friends. And again, he has his golf game or he has his whatever people have, you know, whatever they do. Because you're not doing it for yourself. But if you say to him,
that's why you resent
enjoy your day, have a great time, spend time with your child, and turn around and say, today is my day.
Yeah.
You had a great day, today is my day. But do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Even if your child is clinging to you, lovingly go down to them, give them a hug and say, it's daddy's turn today. He loves you and I can't wait to be with you tomorrow. That's it. Set the boundary. Not like mama needs to go or no. It's daddy's turn today. He wants to spend time with you. Tomorrow is my turn and I cannot wait. But you're energetically drawing the boundary.
It's beautiful.
You know? So those are two biggest takeaways I'm talking specifically to mothers because I feel like, but there's a lot of stuff with fathers as well. But specifically for women, for men and women, realize you are 100% of the problem. For women, learn to draw boundaries with your children and know that it is for their benefit. You know?
Absolutely. And you're teaching them so much in the whole process. I mean, it's beautiful because the happier you are, that's the energy you will parent with. So it's the whole cycle. It's like a whole ripple effect, and it's just beautiful. This awareness itself is so beautiful, and I really, really hope that we can create, and the beautiful people in the world can create this awareness in parents and in people, and
But then, just to end this topic, it's very difficult when you're a single parent, or you don't have the financial and emotional resources to be able to draw that boundary. Who do you help? Who supports you? What if you don't have help at home? What if you're a single mother or a single father, like divorced, separated? How do you deal with this? You know, that's when you have to create a village. We all need a village. So you need that mommy community or that family community or your parents or your grandparents, or you need people to lean on, and you need to create that community.
And it's okay not to feel guilty about it, right? Because a lot of people in that situation, like even I've spoken to, they will feel guilty. How can I ask someone else to help? How can I expect this? Am I not selfish? It makes me feel guilty. But it's like you said, a child needs a village to
be raised.
You need the village. You need the support. You're a human. You need that support, and it's okay to ask for support, and it's okay to have it, and because your responsibility is first towards yourself, and then automatically I want to say that the child will be a happier, full, and remain whole, if I may.
What we need to do now, Meher, is to help people create that community.
Yeah.
You know, creating this village that we have lost. It's just so important.
I agree.
To have that, because it's very difficult, especially I think for single parents, and you know, it's just so hard. What do you do when you're the mother, you're the father, you're the everything? You know, like where do you make time for yourself? How do you even start thinking about your healing? What do you do when you're working 14 hours a day and you have to put money on the table, put bread on the table? Oh, how do you do it? And do this inner work. You've got to have a village. But how do you begin even to have the time to have a village? You need to help people create that
I
village.
love it. So that brings me to my next question, which is, what would this be your message then to people who need that help to create a village, and how would you do it? Like, you know, I mean, what would you be saying to people who want to help and don't have the resources to help?
Well, I think that's where people like us come in. You know, like, what do I want to do with this life is to truly help people. But for people to really be able to help themselves, you have to give them the environment to help themselves. We have to do that. We have to put that work in, you know. Again, I bring up my therapist again because she's amazing. And I remember having a conversation with her where as somebody in charge for work, that is your heart work, which like I feel so uncomfortable asking for this money. And she was like, Kavita, ask for the money so you can give it back. So do the pro bono work. Let's create a community. We have the resources to do this work, to create for people who can't afford it.
Yes.
So you make the money to give back in a certain way. These people can't afford therapy, they can't afford that. So let's do this as a community.
Yes.
As all of us coming together, where we of course we make our money so that we can create the time to give back to people who can't afford it and who need it.
I agree.
So how will they be able to do it? We need to come together as people.
Absolutely.
My professor said something. I'm taking this class on astropsychology right now, and how your internal world is, we are so connected to the universe. She said the most beautiful thing. Her name is Becca Tarnas. Her father, Richard Tarnas, is like the father of like archetypal astrology. He's amazing. And she said, we as a species are facing a near-death experience. We're in the brink of extinction. Of course, we're not admitting it to ourselves, but look at us. We're evolutionarily dying, okay? But the only way for us to survive is, number one, to admit that we are dying, okay, to feel the death. As you said, to rebirth, you have to die, you have to crumble, you have to before we enter this world, we go through a birth canal. Our oxygen is cut off with every contraction that our mother has. So we have faced death before we face life. So we have to feel death before we come into life. Number one, we have to feel like we're dying. Number two, we have to be there for each other. We are not separate. So when we come together,
I agree.
And for this communal healing to take place, starts with you. We have the privilege and resources to give ourselves. We have the financial privilege. Give it back. Give it back to people who can't, because this is a community thing. This is not about me and you, So that's my message, that we are all in this together. So let's learn to find a way to give ourselves so we can give to the other.
Amazing. So amazing. I can't thank you enough. And of course, I don't want to stop, but we will continue this conversation again in another episode, and very soon. Thank you again for coming, and thank you for sharing your learning, your journey, your love, life, and everything with us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate this authentic sharing, and I'm sure, it has helped me personally. It has helped me validate things. It has helped me also learn how to speak to my children and myself. So thank you. It's been a beautiful conversation.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for all the work that you are doing.
Thank you. So thank you for watching this episode of the Come Alive podcast with Kavita. I hope you enjoyed the show as much I loved being with her, in her energy, with this wonderful, authentic conversation. Please leave us a like, comment, and share it with whoever needs to hear it. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and lots of love.